Okay, this is a big one. This is an important race. The most important race of the season, actually. Anything below a podium will be considered a failure. And honestly, in my head right now, not getting a win will be a failure. After the disappointment of the US Grand Prix, there's obviously been a lot of talk in the comments and critique amongst the community regarding my driving and my ability and my career in general. Most notably, a comment saying, Marco says if you don't win in France, he's going to demote you to the Red Bull sponsored GP2 car. Now, I'll be honest, I'm unconvinced of the legitimacy of this comment and this quote. I'm unsure on the relationship between Scissor Sisters 4369 and Helmut Marko. I mean, it's not really a very professional quote. He's not even capitalised the R and the B of Red Bull. Then again, a lot of Marco's quotes aren't really very professional. But regardless, as much as it pains me to admit it, he's right. I've got to win this race. So despite me being unbelievably confident at this track, I wasn't playing around. I went straight out in qualifying. We were going to get a run in with minimal traffic around us. We wanted to be left completely alone. We could easily find for the love of God. You know what? It's fine. We're past him. He scared me there for a second. I thought Webber was going to cause issues, but we have the pace at this track. If we can just get a clean lap in, we're going to try and not think about the final chicane because those curbs are genuinely horrific. We just need a clean lap. If we get a clean lap, we will comfortably get through to Q2 and beyond, but I just need to not get in my own head, really. This is up there with Bahrain as being one of the weakest tracks for the AI. But I don't care, I'm going to make the most of it. Or at least I'm going to try and make the most of it. There's been a few occasions where I've tried to make the most of the weak AI, and I fucked it up in some spectacular fashion, or I've been taken out by a Honda. It's been so long since I've scored points, I genuinely can't remember the last time I did score points. Was it Monaco? I mean, even if it was Monaco, I bottled a win, then I bottled a podium. We need a win here, realistically. We get through the deadly chicane. Our first lap is a 1:14. I didn't even have time to look at the time because I was so confident that was fast enough. We immediately retire and we go P2 in Q1, 1.7 seconds faster than P17. One qualifying session down, 2 to go. Following what we did in Q1, we go straight out to start of Q2. We don't want to mess around with the AI, but our second lap in qualifying is going to be significantly slower than in Q1, at 1:16.9. I think I was just a bit more hesitant on that lap. I don't think there was any major mistakes. I just wasn't driving quite as aggressive through the corners and obviously not gaining as much time. But we have got a lap in, it's something at least. We're obviously going to go again. We've been beaten by Heimfeld immediately, so it's definitely not a quick lap. But as we know from Q1, we very much have the pace within the car. On our banker lap time, our first sector wasn't anything special, but we do manage to improve on our second time round. We've still got clear air ahead of us. And in Sector 2, we have gone 1.7 seconds faster. I think we know where we lost the time on our previous lap. So all we need to do is get through the horrible chicane at the final corner and it will be a comfortable journey into Q3. Massa sits in P1 on a 1:15.2. We're definitely not slower, we're comfortably quicker than Mark Webber currently, who sits P10. We're coming through the final corner, we have a little incident, but we managed to make it to the line. We've lost time in the first sector, but we've gone fastest in Q2. We're going to immediately retire. We're P4 as we come back to the garage. Once again, we're going to end the session there. P4 and Q2, we're through to Q3. Unlike the previous sessions, I do go out at the end just because it's 20 minutes of burning fuel, and quite frankly, it's boring and I can't be asked. But also, especially after the Q1 and Q2 runs, I was especially confident. Coming through the final corner for our bank lap time, we're going to mount the curb and we're going to go P2 on our first run, a 1:15.7. 2 tenths off Fernando Alonso in pole position, and that leaves us with 2 more laps to find 2 tenths of a second. A lap later, we've got a PB in Sector 1, a PB in Sector 2, and surely it's going to be a PB in Sector 3. Went a little bit wide at the penultimate corner, through the final corner. We do end up losing time in the third sector. It's not a PB, but it is pole position provisionally. A 1:18.5, I think. That is pole position by only a couple hundredths. It's definitely not comfortable. But we've got one more lap now. We have pole position in hand. So far the first sector has been pretty strong, although it's to be honest. There's not really much to the first sector of this track. Into Sector 2 we go. Are we going to be green in the first sector? Yes we are. We've found 0.06 of a second. Despite the game not telling you, that means we are purple on our final run in Q3. Into my favourite chicane on the track, you can absolutely send it and run horrifically wide without getting penalised. It does make for a slightly difficult turn 10, but we're going to get through the corner regardless. It might be purple in the second sector. We might have just thrown it away because of that wide moment at turn number 9. It is in fact purple in Sector 2. We found an additional 0.2 of a second. We are a quarter of a second up into the third sector. So far no one has beaten my pole time. As we come out of turn number 14, we've got a quarter of a second to play with and all our time to make up in the third sector. Into the final braking zone, into turn 15. It's much cleaner than the previous lap. We're going to jump over the curb, across the line, and it is going to be an improvement. A 1:15.1, so comfortably take pole position for the French Grand Prix. For the third time this season, we are on pole position. We got it in Bahrain, we got it in Monaco, and we've got it in France. In Bahrain, we threw it away in the final stint. In Monaco, we threw it away several times actually. Third time's lucky though. This time in France, we cannot afford to throw this away. My ego and my mental state can't possibly take it. I need to win this. So for the third time this season, we start on pole position. This time, it's the most important one. I can easily just run away with this if I don't mess up. So let's see if we can do it. Lights out, and away we go for the French Grand Prix. We're obviously going to get a good start compared to the cars around us. We are going to be leading into turn number 1. Hopefully, I've got nothing to commentate over, to be honest. If we can get... I've almost messed it up immediately. Our last is 3 corners. We've run wide at turn number 3, and we're already blowing it. But we've held the lead onto the straight. Now, into the braking zone at turn number 5. This is absolutely terrifying. I could lose a wheel here. We're going to try and brake late, and it looks like we have survived the braking zone at turn number 5. That was important. I could have easily have lost the wheel there, and that could have been game over immediately. Now for the rest of this lap, I should be quicker than the AI, and ideally, I can just run away. Now I know I did this in Bahrain and Monaco, less so in Monaco. I mean, let's face it, it's a fair assumption that I'm going to lose it at probably the final chicane. But I can promise you, even more so than in Bahrain and Monaco, I was locked in for this. I was not messing about. For the first time this season, I had absolutely no concerns about content for this video. This may be a very boring video, but if I get the win, for the first time, I really don't care. We've survived lap number 1, we're leading by 1.4 seconds over Fernando Alonso, and if this is how the rest of this video is going to play out, I can only apologise, but to be honest, I don't care. I want to pull a 2013 Vettel. On lap number 3, we very much hadn't pulled away from the leaders, or at least all the leaders. Barring any mistakes we made, we were still off the pace in Sector 1, and that long straight was very much costing us, in time at least. We weren't under pressure from the cars behind just yet, but we weren't really able to pull away indefinitely. We could pull a gap across the lap, but most of it was eaten into down the straight in Sector 1. Normally opening the gap up to just shy of 2 seconds, but as soon as we got into the first sector, that gap would come down to, at most, half a second. So it definitely wasn't comfortable, but it was manageable. As we crossed the line to start lap number 4, we set the fastest lap of the race pretty comfortably. We're absolutely flying. We've opened the gap up to 1.8 seconds once again. We may not be pulling away from the leaders, but we are on pace. If we keep this up, they can't get to us. Later on lap number 4, you can see Alonso is still with us. We've actually pulled away from Schumacher and Jenson Button, who is concerningly in P4. He's a lot closer than I'd hope the Honda would be to me this race. But it was very much Fernando Alonso that was the main concern this race, and you can see in the third sector we've had a horrible third sector. And it's got even worse. I've thrown it away. I've spun at the final chicane. We knew it was coming, but the gods have blessed me. Every single car has been stuck behind me. I'm unable to spin the car around because I've been stuck on the cars, but we've caused absolute havoc as we come on to lap number 5. We have bottled what would have been a faultless race. However, we're still leading. We blocked everyone. We pulled a Monaco, but this time we collected everyone. We've not got any damage, and this win is still very much on. Let's just hope I don't do that again. A lap later, you can see on the minimap, I've actually given Fernando Alonso a puncher. Well, arguably not me, but Alonso is out of the picture, and you can see through the final chicane this time. We're a lot more cautious on the curbs. We have a few cars coming into the pit due to damage. That is a real shame. I would hate to be them right now. We're left with Michael Schumacher as our main competitor, which is absolutely terrifying, but we have a healthy gap to him. Even after the first sector, we have a healthy gap to him. Now, I was extremely concerned about the lap car of Fernando Alonso, who I'm going to meet by the looks of it in the fast chicane, so that's absolutely terrifying. We're going to have to just hope. He's going to stay on the racing line, but luckily we saw him and we get by him without issue. He might actually hold up the... Nope, he's not, he's let them through. Well, I guess I can't have everything my own way. That would have been real helpful from Fernando Alonso, but after what I did to him, I guess he'll be in no mood to help me out here. The important thing is we've survived the lap car of Alonso, and we're still in control of this race. I'm just really trying to ignore that.
It's hideous!
Lap number 9 and we're still leading the Grand Prix, however, our tyres are starting to wear. Obviously they're going to wear a lot more thanks to that spin at the final corner. Schumacher has closed up to it within a second of me. Honestly, we kind of expected that from the Ferrari. They've been absolutely OP this season. But we still have control of this Grand Prix. Obviously, we can't really afford a mistake again. We need to go faultless for the rest of this Grand Prix to ensure the race win. But still, much like with Alonso, we haven't had an overtake attempt from the car behind. Schumacher closes up by 2 attempts in the middle sector, but through the third sector, assuming I can get through the final corner, this is where we open the gap up, particularly at a turn number 14. For whatever reason, the AI absolutely despise turn number 14, to which I'm going to take full advantage of. Through the final chicane, you're once again going to see we're going to be quite cautious. We don't want anything to do with those curbs after last time. And at the end of lap number 9, Schumacher comes into the pit. Barrichello moves into P2, however, thankfully he is significantly far away from me. I'd like it to be more, but it's manageable. I mean, ideally I'd like both Hondas to retire from the sport in general, given my history of them, but for now, this distance is fine. Ish. Despite the worn tyres, we're going to do what we always do, and we're going to extend by 1 lap before our pit stop, use up the lack of fuel in the car. But on this occasion, mainly it was just due to the fact that I didn't want to be stuck in traffic. I didn't want to have to try and overtake a car because I'd inevitably be near a Honda, and obviously I'd be taken out by that Honda. So we're going to stay up front as long as humanly possible, and ideally we're going to be out comfortably ahead of Michael Schumacher, who after Fernando's unfortunate incident at the final corner is now our main competitor for this race win. Coming to the end of lap number 10, you can see Schumacher currently sits P4 behind Rosberg and Trulli. We're going to come into the pit for our pit stop, and we can't have an incident like in Indianapolis. We need a faultless pit stop. We know we're good at these. Let's see if we can deliver. For the love of God, I swear to God I pressed that button. I pressed them all together, but the game didn't want to give it to me. It was an 8.2 second stop. We have fumbled the pit stop, but it shouldn't matter. We're going to be out comfortably in the lead of the race. Trulli has made his pit stop. Schumacher has just crossed the line to start lap number 11. We do have the lap car of Fernando Alonso ahead of us. However, I was really hoping that Alonso could just pull away from me, because obviously he's in a faster car. I was going to continue pushing as much as I could because, quite frankly, I needed to. Michael Schumacher's behind me. It'd be stupid not to. But if Fernando Alonso could also push like crazy and pull away from me, that would be absolutely ideal. We're 10 laps away from our first race win on F1 Championship Edition. At a track I felt most confident to do it. Fresh tyres. Genuine pace. No Hondas in sight. And yet still, I was so confident that I was going to throw this away. 8 laps remaining, and we weren't catching Fernando Alonso. He wasn't pulling away, but we were matching his pace, and we didn't need to deal with him. Schumacher, on the other hand, we were matching his pace too. We still had a pretty healthy buffer to the Ferrari. What's the time going to say? 6.4 seconds. We're matching his pace, as we are Fernando Alonso. We just need to keep this on for fuck's sake.
It's still dry at the moment, but there's a possibility of rain before this race is over.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Okay, so 8 laps remaining. We had a healthy gap to Michael Schumacher. We go for a spin on the curb. And just as a cherry on top, Brundle on the commentary is saying rain might be on the way. Now, if you factor in also what happened to me last race, I refuse to believe this game isn't trying to just torment me. Like, it's actively doing it now. Well, anyway, we've had our spin. We're desperately trying to bottle this race win. Schumacher is now directly behind me for the remaining 8 laps, but I'm not giving this one up. I am absolutely not giving this one up. I'm not going to get in my own head. We now cannot afford a single mistake, otherwise we're losing this win. And you know, I don't know what it was, but normally after the spins I get in my own head and I start making even more mistakes, as we all know. But this race I just felt a rage of determination. I was not going to lose this. Mainly because I knew what the comments were going to say, and yeah, the comments were really fueling me this race. They really were. 7 laps remaining and still, despite Michael Schumacher being directly behind me, he hadn't made a move yet. And through turn number 14, we were opening up that gap once again. We were outpacing the Ferrari. Heading on to lap number 14, we've opened up the gap once again to Schumacher. And by this point, normally I'd be on the hard tyres and really struggling, but I was still pushing. I not only wanted to win this race, I wanted a gap to Schumacher because, quite frankly, I knew I needed it. I wasn't just going to sit in dive bomb danger of Michael Schumacher, of all people. I needed a buffer. 5 laps remaining and we still hold a gap to Schumacher, a comfortable gap now as we come into the penultimate corner. It's going to be 4 remaining as we come across the line. We have an incident through the final couple corners, but we still hold a 2.1 second gap to Schumacher. It's a little bit of a nervous incident on the curbs, running a little bit wide, but we've held it together. It's not going to discourage us from pushing. I didn't want to just win this race, I wanted to prove I deserved it. And so here we were, on to the final lap of the race. We are leading the Grand Prix. 1.8 seconds to Michael Schumacher, 4.1 seconds to Barrichello. We're out of dive bomb danger, and we're out of Honda danger. Just. It looks like a clean first sector as we come on to the straight. Our weakest part of this track, and we're nowhere near Michael Schumacher. He's not going to make a move into the hairpin. Into sector 2 we go. We've gone fastest on our last lap. 1.9 seconds to Schumacher. We've increased the gap on him. Even at this stage, I wanted to push. And honestly, seeing the green first sector, I kind of wanted a fastest lap as well. I thought I could do it. I was really motivated. I really was confident on this final lap. At turn number 10, it's nice and clean, no incidents to make note of. At worst, we're going to maintain the gap to Michael Schumacher as we come into sector 2, and we've done just that. We're 1 sector away from our first race win of the season. First race win of this game, of our career. At turn number 14, the weakest track for the AI, I knew we were going to increase the gap once again out of the traction zone. And barring a mistake for the final corner, we've actually fucking done it.
We won it! Finally!
Yes! 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 Yes!
You've done it. It wasn't without incidents. We had 2 spins, 2 crucial spins, but, well, that's ruined the moment. We definitely made it difficult for ourselves, but we have won a Grand Prix. Finally. Our first podium since Bahrain. It's been 11 races. Our first of 3 pole positions we've actually converted to a race win. And we're the first non-Ferrari driver, past, present or future, to win a race. Unless of course I go on to drive for Ferrari, but for now, we've broken the weird record I've been keeping track of. Unfortunately though, we will have to share the podium with a Honda. In the Drivers' Championship, Schumacher now closes the gap to 12 points to his teammate Felipe Massa. Barrichello moves up into P5 ahead of his teammate Jenson Button, after that podium finish. On the second page of results though, we move up to 21 points. But with 13 points clear of Coulthard and Trulli, and with 7 races remaining, that might just be enough to hold on to P9. In the Constructors, Ferrari continues to dominate. Honestly, it's not even worth bringing them up anymore. So we're going to focus on what's important. Toro Rosso have a 10-point lead over Toyota and a 12-point lead over the sister team, Red Bull Racing. But let's not worry about that for now. Let's enjoy this win. God, there's so much to unpack there, isn't there? I mean, it's hard to hit the national anthem over the collective groan of the French nation. And then visually, obviously, you can see the pain in the eyes of Barrichello. The slow clap, the forced smile, you can see how much the win is deeply, deeply paining him. Schumacher just looks like a kid who's happy to be there. And we get our first trophy in our trophy room. My God, it's beautiful. My God. That's so average. What the fuck is that? Is that it? Congratulations on your victory this weekend at the Grand Prix de France. I must say you performed superbly throughout and deserve to win that race. You're a real asset to the Scuderia Toro Rosso team. See, this is what Helmut Marko is actually saying to me, not this bullshit in the comments. I don't know why you guys feel the need to tell me what he's saying. Like, I get emails from him. He's happy. We've just taken Toro Rosso's first ever race win. We've beaten Sebastian Vettel to it. We've joined the list of Ferrari race winners. Yes, the journey's been rough, but we are officially a race winner on F1 Championship Edition. Unfortunately, I can't say the form is going to continue on to the next race. We're going to Germany, which is... it's a track I love. I love Hockenheim. It's a horrible track to drive though. An absolutely disgusting track on this game. I am expecting nothing, so keep your expectations low. And what's there more to say? I am a race winner on F1 Championship Edition. We've won with Toro Rosso. My only concern is what are the comments going to say. They've got nothing to have a go at me at. I've done it. You know what? Let's watch it again. Oh yeah, that's the stuff.